State for the record that Councilwoman Surovsky, Laura Foley, and Michelle Rafter are not present for this special meeting. I'm going to kick it over to our engineer, Lisa Catania, to discuss a little bit about the CBGB grant.
I'm going to move this over there so I think everybody will be able to see a little bit better.
Great.
Is that all right? Okay. Or not.
Perfect.
The structural engineer in me says I should be able to do this better. Elizabeth Ann. Ha!
There you go.
Funny how that happens. Put it where it should be. Okay, we're here to discuss this evening potential projects for the 2015 Community Development Block Grant. The block grant is administered by county. The county council actually selects the projects, administered by the planning department. The funding is from HUD, so it is federal funding. This year, based on the 2010 census, so it only took 5 years, we do have new mapping. The new mapping, if you recall, your old eligible areas were in here, and solely this area right up here. The maps have now added down along Kaiser Drive, Columbia, Maple, Taylor, up Carter, Bennington, and then Delmar Drive up to the original area or the previous area. So it has expanded, which is good news as far as the grant is concerned because you have more area eligible. It's not so good news in the fact that the income of the residents has gone down. So at this point, we have several options, or the things that I see, things that I know from a few years ago that we had identified as potential projects. The first, and it's something that my experiences here have brought to light, is that we have a lot of sanitary sewer problems, overflows, broken pipe, old antiquated pipe and manholes, things that need to be repaired. So my suggestion or recommendation would be to do, and I'm sorry, I have to take these, I need them for distance, I should have gotten others. Fowler Road, Grant Road, Edwards Road, Delview Drive, and School Lane. Came up with those because at one point in time in 2011, 10 or 11, I had done a study of the area, or the borough, and what the priorities were for sanitary sewer repair work. Because at one point in time, Delcor was looking at taking over the sanitary sewer facilities in the borough. That did not happen, but I still have that data that we can utilize. So that's my recommendation for a priority project. Get the sewers in line. Once the sewers are in line, we take a look at the storm sewers. The sanitary sewers are in line. The storm sewers for stormwater management, get them up to par, and then we start repaving streets. And I think that's the way we need to do it. You've got to have a good infrastructure. You're not going to pave over poor infrastructure because in the end it will fail. The second thing that I'm suggesting, and these are in no order, is what we could do some street resurfacing in the areas that we know that we don't have any storm or sanitary problems. I haven't identified those because I don't have your road lists, your paving lists from the past couple of years. So at some point in time, we can identify what those streets would be, but it would be about $100,000 to $150,000 project that we would put in. That would be base repair, milling, and resurfacing. The other is continue with the streetscape improvements. Last year, the application that went in as a sidewalk and ADA ramp project. And OHCD, prior to the 2014 deadline, had notified all of the engineers that the ADA ramps would not be eligible. For many years, we did ADA ramps to get it up to the new federal standards. That was not an eligible activity based on the planning department. So what I would suggest, if we are going to do it, is to do something similar to what we had done on King Street and Lanwellen, and that would be to do the curbs, the sidewalks, put street trees in, make it a full project. The ADA ramps would be part of that, but it would be more of a streetscape than just an ADA ramp installation project, and it would qualify at that point. If there's other suggestions, I'll be glad to take a look at those as well. And I'll answer any questions that anyone has. We will have to take public comment if there is any public comment or questions.
Does anybody sign up for anything? We can just go around. Does anybody have any questions?
I actually have a question. When you guys did Landwell, when you did Landwell, you put a couple of trees back in there. I think they were pin oak trees. Down towards the ball field side.
We did a landscaping in the entrance,
In the entrance, and you planted 4 trees at the entrance
right.
in the grass strip.
Mhm.
Now, isn't that asking for problems 20 years down the road or so many years down the road, putting those trees back in those strips?
Depends what kind of tree it is.
Okay.
What you need to do is you need to find, you don't want a tree that the roots are going to be to the surface.
Excavating
And that's
this,
what you
yeah.
see that actually takes and misaligns the sidewalks.
Yeah.
You want trees that will go straight down. And there's amendments that you do to the soil to make sure that
Okay.
happens.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether they were pin oaks that you guys put in
I
or
don't think they
maples.
were. I
Or
don't-
maples.
I think they were some sort of a maple.
Okay.
Yeah. Our landscape architect took
We,
care of it.
at the time I was living down there,
Mhm.
and we all had a lot of concern, like, you know,
Yeah.
now you put new nice new sidewalks in, and 10 years from now, the curb's gonna be 3 feet into the street or whatever, and they had, you know, that was my concern too about
Mhm.
putting trees in.
It's a legitimate point if you don't put the right species in.
Okay.
I have one question. That alley that we discussed early behind your way, it's not on the graph, which would have been a good thing to do, but unfortunately, it's just
I
not
think
qualified.
See, that's,
The last time they tried that, they had to get everybody to sign a paper, put down income, and if
On
you
the
don't
grant
have
program, you need the same idea?
and if you don't have 100%, and I think we had all but 11 people sign a paper,
Because I think we were having problems with that alley, behind what's the street?
they'll,
Bellevue, yeah.
We had that, 5 years ago, the same problem is kind of happening, but.
flooding, right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
along there.
It was actually like a green ooze coming out of it for a while.
The other
green,
part of
and then in
that
the winter
is,
you have the ice and the trash truck can't get down and
if
it's.
it were a public street or a public alley that the borough was responsible for, it's much easier to get funding. You
Sure.
could actually use local fuels money for something like that. But because it's privately owned, you don't have that same ability.
With all the problems we've had with storm sewers and sanitary sewers and stuff, I think it's a good thing. Does anyone else on council have any questions?
No, my recommendation would be number 1, the sanitary, because they're, the area, the streets, Grand Edwards, Bellevue, that's 60 years old.
Yep.
Yeah.
Life expectancy of the sewers are 50, some of them are 75
Yeah,
or
these
70
are
years
60.
right now. They're
Okay.
gonna collapse.
So I would go with, now do we just pick one or is there a
You
back?
have a priority project and then what's called an alternate project, so there are
Street,
actually 2
okay.
projects that you could put, submit to the county.
I would say definitely number 1 and back up like number 2.
Yeah. If there are no other questions, we'll take a motion to adjourn the special meeting.
Second.
All right, and I'd like to call to order the December council meeting. Mr. Mayor?
Dear Lord, guide and inspire us with the wisdom to oversee the daily tasks of government. Help us all set goals for the benefit of the borough. Amen. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Guys, if we could just stay standing for a minute, we got some bad news. Former president and former treasurer Kay Adams passed away last night. And while we stand here, over the last couple of weeks, we've had some severe losses in Fallcroft. Mary Ann's mother, Rogo's mother. Linda had a terrible loss of her brother. And the list just goes on. Officer Glick just lost his sister. It's been a tough time, and if we could just take a minute for the recent losses we've had and any through 2014, a moment of silence, please. Thoughts and prayers go out to everybody's family.
Thank you.
Roll call. Here.
Mr. Petty.
Here.
Mr. Borowski. Ms. Foley. Ms. Peterson.
Here.
Ms. Rafter. Mrs. French.
Here.
Mayor Frye.
Here.
Is there anyone signed up for audience participation? Okay. Moving on. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the council and committee meetings of November.
Motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under finance and admin, we have some motions here.
Make a motion to approve the bill list for November. You got to say it, I have this motion
Okay, go ahead and make the motion.
already. Okay. Motion to approve the bill list for November.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Make a motion to approve the treasurer's report for the month.
So motion to approve the treasurer's report. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to accept the monies received in the secretary's office.
There's a motion to accept the monies received in the secretary's office. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2015 final budget.
There's a motion on the floor to approve the 2015 final budget. Is there a second?
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to be made to hire Dave Spankenberg to manage fallcrowpa.net website.
There's a motion for Dave Spankenberg and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to be made to pay half of the bill from ADU in 2014 and the balance in 2015 for the demo work done due to the fire on Delmar Drive.
That being the amount of $10,000.
We're paying the amount of $10,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, highway,
Okay.
Ms. French.
I'd like to make, you're right. I'd like to make a motion to purchase a new street sweeper from US Municipal Incorporated in the amount of $246,450.
I'll second that.
The motion seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion to purchase a new dump truck from GL Sayer Incorporated in the amount of $85,557.76.
Second.
Motion seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion to submit the Highway Department's report.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I'd like to make a motion to hire Wesley Penny full-time as a highway worker effective January 4th, 2015, after completion of his probation.
Second.
Okay, with that, he would fall in line with the contract.
Highway contract.
That's correct. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I don't have anything else. Mr. Manos is here. I mean, is there anything from Muffin Page that the meetings that you go to?
Hang on one second,
No.
man.
Well, I figured that was sanitation.
You have the floor, Larry Penny.
I'm just making a motion that I won't vote on that.
Larry's gonna abstain
Okay.
from the Larry Penny vote.
I thought we were gonna go and vote, but everything, I just kept my mouth shut.
Oh, let me.
You did.
That's why, just let the record
can
show
second
that
that
Larry
you're
Penny
silent.
from,
I thought we were going single vote,
Motion.
everybody went aye, I just kept my mouth shut.
Sorry about that, Larry.
we'll
That's
reflect
okay.
that in a minute. Okay, moving on to, I'm sorry, did you have anything else, Mayor?
Do you, with the bucket of Hades, I mean, is there any report?
I send monthly to Linda. There have been no arrears or anything, so everything's up to date.
Increases for next year?
I don't think there's any increases.
They're hoping.
No, like I said, everything's
Before it has-
related over to, I don't know if there's any exact increases. I don't think so. I pass everything up to the borough.
Sorry, what you were saying about increases?
Delcora has increased their,
Yeah, I think Joe
There,
mentioned,
no.
that bumped it up, yeah, they bumped it
How
up
much?
8%. Yeah, I remember that in the last one.
That seems like the norm for that. Go up.
well, there's also a fee because of some issues with their contract or their agreement with Southwest Philadelphia Plant.
Gotcha. Anything else?
No.
Okay, moving on to borough properties, Mr. Petty?
One other issue I have is with the heaters running. We did talk about this earlier today. Anton coming in here, we have to figure out where the wire's problem is so we can fix the problem. So we're having to be here for at least a couple hours to figure out what wire system's not making it shut off or come on. So right now, the heater system is running 24/7. I have to have everybody on board for them to come in immediately to find out where this wire problem is, so we can have a new system put in for the wires. Okay?
Very good. Brad, do you have any motions to make on that?
I'll make a motion to, if everyone's okay with that, with the, what is it, 158 an hour for them to come in?
No, I'm sorry, Larry, I mean, that's fine, because it's only 158 for 3 hours. Is there any, do you have to make any motions under your committee?
No. Oh, on the cleaning,
Yes.
I'll make a motion on that. Thank you.
Yeah, what's your motion, Larry?
Make a motion to hire this management of the month of fee of $750,000 for cleaning of the borough building. Or $750, we got the decimal point.
All right, there's a motion on the floor to acquire the
Second.
$750.
$50,
for cleaning the borough.
$750,000.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Under building and zoning, Ms. Rafter's not here. There is no business to report under that. Under fire, Ms. French?
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to submit the fire report for the month for public record.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion to submit the fire marshal's report for the month for public record.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I think the mayor has something to read under fire here.
You have a letter from fire company addressed to Mayor Fry and council. Please let me take the opportunity to thank Mayor Fry and council for allowing the Fulcroft Fire Company to place a sign for a fire prevention open house on the property across from the Delcroft Shopping Center. The sign and other advertising help make the attendance for our open house an overwhelming success. I would also like to graciously thank you for your recent approval of a much-needed new fire truck. Your continuing support helps us to safely and effectively perform our job. Sincerely, Michael Carney, Deputy Chief, Fulcroft Fire Company.
Very nice.
And I would also give them kudos because we went, the French and Doricio family went to breakfast with Santa and it was packed. It was packed. They did an excellent job. Relay that back. It was a great job. Food was good.
And they also did the drive around this weekend, I think, right?
Yes.
Which is always a fan favorite. I think some people had some stop signs, so Stan would stop and say them. I saw that on Facebook. It looked really good. It was very nice.
It was.
Very nice. Mayor, do you have anything under FEMA?
Now,
Okay, moving on to police.
I'd like to make a motion to submit the police chief for the month.
Motion to submit the police chief's report. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? They're rushing me along now. Fantastic. Recreation?
Now, under insurance.
I'm gonna come to that
And I
later.
think we have the Gallagher ladies here.
No, there was no new business for recreation
Yeah,
except
I'm
Michelle
gonna
wanted,
back up to that.
Michelle wants everyone to have
Okay,
Merry
because,
Christmas.
yeah,
Yep. No new business there. Anything under library?
No.
Okay, health. Swarovski's not here. And before we go to ordinance, I will jump back up to insurance. We have some representatives from AJ Gallagher here, as you said, Mayor. We discussed at the committee meeting what was going on with the insurance and the possibility of either joining a trust or going out and shopping for our own insurance. Mary Ann took the ball with it, being the chairperson of the insurance, and got some information for us. I believe she's ready to make a recommendation, but I did want you guys to tell us a little bit about the trust.
Okay, great. We just have some short presentations here. My name is Kristen Cox, and this is Christine Brown from Gallagher Benefit Services. And I'm just gonna go over just briefly what our proposal is. You go to page 3, this is an overview of the Delaware County Municipality Healthcare Affiliation as it currently stands today in 2014. There are approximately 34 municipalities that currently purchase healthcare together in an affiliation that have been purchasing healthcare together for the past 7 years. This has proven beneficial. Their claims and experience have been blended together for 7 years, so that they're not experience rated or rated individually. They're rated all together. There's 2,000 employees and approximately 6,000 members, and the carrier is Independence Blue Cross for everyone. So this past year, Independence Blue Cross came to us and said that the affiliation can no longer be underwritten in the same manner that it's underwritten today because of healthcare reform restrictions. Effective January 1st, 2015, 50 enrolled employees or less in a group, an employer group, would be considered a small group to basically under healthcare reform. And therefore, carriers can only rate those small groups in using enrollment tier, geographic area, age, tobacco, or non-tobacco use. There's also, which we think is basically the main issue, there's a subset of plan designs to choose from. So those plan designs are different than the current plan designs offered by all of the municipalities amongst the 34 that participate in the affiliation. So basically, we put together a proposal with the trust, so that basically today there is an affiliation, and what is going to happen is all we have to do is formalize the affiliation so that the government looks at the affiliation as one large entity as opposed to small subsets and small individual employers. So effective January 1st, 2015, the entire municipal affiliation would join the Delaware County Public Schools Healthcare Trust as a separate standalone entity. So the Delaware County Public Schools Healthcare Trust, the schools in Delaware County were in a similar situation. They did not have healthcare reform restrictions, but they were in July 2013, they wanted to purchase healthcare together in the same manner, but did not want to take on all the risks on their own. So they got together and they formalized the trust. So the formation was already there. So what we decided to do was we decided to create a separate arm of the trust for the municipalities. Therefore, we don't have to go through all the legal work because it's already put in place, but the municipalities remain completely separate. And that is shown on page 6. So the Delaware County municipalities are represented in that yellow circle. their claims and expenses will be completely separate. So they'll be rated the same way they're rated today as far as their experience goes. All their experience are going to be rated together. This allows us to continue the plan designs that are offered today. The schools are going to be continuing on their own on the left-hand side. And then there's one school that just purchases on their own. They want their claims to be separate and they purchase on their own, so they're separate as well. The last page talks about how this would specifically affect Fallcroft Borough, and the way that this would affect the employees is it's seamless to the employees. They have the exact same coverage that they have today, they would have tomorrow.
Let me stop you right there, for the people in the audience to understand that. As far as insurance goes for unionized groups in the borough, it was aggressively bargained for, and they gave up raises in some cases and some work rule changes to preserve the health insurance that they have now. So with both groups, we have an obligation to make sure that that insurance stays the same. Otherwise, you'll have to reopen, renegotiate, things like that. So what you just said was one of the things I was focusing on for this, because we're contractually obligated to these benefits. And what you're saying here is there will be no effective change to anybody that's covered under the plan right now. They will have
Correct.
a mirror image of what they have at this point.
Correct, it will be the exact same plans, the exact same network. The only thing that will change is that the actual invoices to the employer will come from the Delaware County Intermediate Unit as opposed to Independence Blue Cross. And that's because Independence Blue Cross will now, the Delaware County Intermediate Unit will now be collecting all of the premium dollars from all of the municipalities that participate, and they will pay Independence Blue Cross on the municipality's behalf.
Independence Blue Cross gets paid to administer, there actually won't be an insurance policy.
No, there is an insurance policy, they are the insurer.
Well, it's a self-insured trust,
Correct.
so there can't be an insurance policy.
It is an insurance policy. Even if you're self-insured, it's still an insurance policy.
Okay, but I mean, just Independence Blue Cross administers it. It's a self-insured group that you're going to have, so we would put our money in with the other municipalities that would participate, but you're not going to have an Independence Blue Cross insurance policy.
It is still an it's still an Independence Blue Cross insurance policy. That does not change. That does not change at all.
You get the same coverage, you're not buying an insurance policy from Independence Blue Cross.
Yes, you are. That does not change at all.
The contract between Independence Blue Cross will still remain with the employer. There will still be a group contract.
And we have several other groups that self-insure or fully insure, and they still have contracts with Independence Blue Cross directly. And there will still be a contract with Independence Blue Cross.
I think we're ready to move on, I think.
Okay. So the purpose of this really was, for the majority, so out of the 34, municipalities and boroughs, the majority of them are under 50 employees. And, so the majority of them are affected by this. So the purpose of us putting this in place was to assist those that are gonna be affected by this. Out of the 34 groups, there are over 100 different plan designs. So we recognize the importance of keeping your current plan design and maintaining it for as long as you need to maintain it. Also, if you need to add different plan designs or modify the plan design, you can do so. So in the future, if you bargain different plans with your uniform employees, you're able to add plan designs without any type of restrictions that are in the small group market.
So now on that, when you say that we can negotiate that, my understanding with this was that we will be, you know, you showed it kind of as 3 circles, but really, the way I understand it is that it's kind of one circle of which we're on the outside of, meaning we are not actually part of the trust, so the trust actually would go out and shop for our insurance. And I was wondering what kind of control we have over that. Now, you just said if we bargained something different, they would go out and acquire that. So we do have that kind of control, because I was a little concerned that we wouldn't have that kind of control.
Basically, the coverage is not going to be changing from Independence Blue Cross.
Mhm.
The affiliation has been with